What if almost everything you were told was a lie? Would you like to know? Welcome to another episode of Broke is No Joke Radio, where the truth will indeed set you free. And now, here's your host, a man with a face made for radio, freedom fighter and unbroker, Josh Zeppis.
Hey, good morning, champs out there. My name is Josh Zeppis, and I am your friendly neighborhood freedom fighter and unbroker, and also a corporate America escapee. So welcome to Broke is No Joke Radio, where we actually expose the truth about all those things that you were never taught in school, your parents don't know, and those industries out there sure as heck don't want you to find out. So we're going to talk real, we're going to talk the truth, because my golly, what I hear is the truth will set you free. So, like I said, I'm a corporate America escapee. Those of you who don't know me, I climbed the ladder, guys. I was there in corporate America for 20 years. I climbed the ladder. I was successful. I did everything I was told to do. And then one day, everything I thought was right wasn't so right. So I'm the wake-up call now. I'm the guy ringing the bell. I'm the one with the escape hatch. So if you guys are looking for a way out, whether it be corporate America or if something in your life isn't working, welcome to our podcast, because we're going to talk real. We're going to talk the real side of every aspect of life, money, success, business, entrepreneurship. It doesn't matter. Remember, we're going to have fun doing it. And so, by the way, not here to tell you guys what to do. That is not my purpose, my job. My purpose here is to ask the right questions, to get the right answers from the right experts. And once that truth is out there, boy, that's freedom, guys. The truth leads to awareness. Awareness leads to choice. And choice leads to freedom. And I'm actually joined today in person with a very special guest, Dr. Scott McComas.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Oh, by the way, good morning. I wanted to share that as one of my little nuggets for today. We're always going to do a little nugget on this podcast. But it's actually, what time is it? About 8 o'clock at night?
It's 8 o'clock at night.
8 o'clock at night. And I still say good morning, which kind of freaks people out. But you know the purpose of saying good morning.
Tell me. Yeah.
It's attitude. It's attitude. That's all it is. We all have challenges, don't we, guys? We have challenges during the day. So maybe earlier today you had a challenge with your car, your kids, your spouse, some big challenge. Guess what? That was yesterday, right? Imagine like an hour ago. Today's a new day. The new day starts right now, this minute, this hour, this second, and anything that happened in the past was yesterday. So if that's the case, if today's a new day, if this hour, this second, this minute's a new day, good morning. And that's how it works. Keeps us focusing and looking forward and not worrying about all the crap that happened in the past, which doesn't matter anymore. I know no one's told you that before, but let it go. It's my wife's favorite song. Let it go. I will not sing it. One, I can't sing. Two, I really don't like the song. However, the message is solid.
The message is solid. Yes.
I got to give it to Disney, Pixar, whoever the frick made that stupid thing. But fantastic. That's awesome. So our topic today, and there's the reason I brought Scott in, is self-help books. And by the way, Scott is PsyD, right? PsyD. Master of sports performance. And one of my favorite things about Scott is he's a genuine guy. He's a really down-to-earth person. He's not that doctor where he's up on a mantle somewhere trying to talk down to you. He's just a normal dude, and he's a budding comedian.
Oh, God.
You guys know that.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, you devil. Oh, God. He is. And actually, I'm guilty of that same thing because we're actually partnering. And, well, you guys will see it coming up here.
He keeps telling people that I'm a comedian, and I'm struggling with that right now. And yet when I talk about that with people, somehow it's funny. So,
but they say you got to lead with intention, right? Well, you got to speak it into existence. That's all we're doing.
You're not wrong.
Well, thank you.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. So, notice he doesn't say I'm right. He's just willing to say I'm not wrong. That's a sign of a really good friend right there. Trying to keep my ego in check. All right, that's fine. So let's get to our topic.
Sure.
So self-help books.
Yeah.
The darling. Oh my goodness, the darling of the personal development self-help industry. Man, I tell you, there's so many books out there. I don't even know which one to read first. I am an addict, though. I don't know about you, but
I am. Well, I've got, I don't know what, at least 30 books on my list, and a good majority of them would be considered to be in that self-help.
How many books do you think I have on my shelf here? He's seen my
shelf.
shelf.
Oh my gosh, the bookshelf.
In my house.
Oh man, that bookshelf's got hundreds of
just personal development books.
Yeah.
So I love these things. And I know you guys love them too. And by the way, I've got an article about what we're going to talk about here on my website, brokeisnojoke.org. There's a video out there. There's an article. There's a lot of good stuff. But let me tell you why I love self-help books.
Okay, give it to me.
Here's my favorite thing. This is what I really love.
Okay.
You got an expert out there that knows a lot about something. And imagine taking this person's life and entire experience, and they're 50 years, 60 years, 80 years, and condensing it down to a 300-page book of just the highlights. How awesome is that? The Cliff Notes of success,
right?
If you will.
Right?
Right? Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, actually it is.
Instead of having to live their life to learn what they've learned, we get it in a condensed format. We can get through it in about 30 days or a week if you're a really good reader, or you listen to the audiobook in a few hours.
Right.
Bam. Transfer of knowledge, transfer of not skill, but transfer of the knowledge.
Their biggest lessons that they learned and the tools that help them.
Exactly. Now, here's why we're still broke, though. Because with all these self-help books, you think everyone will be wealthy and successful, and right?
Yeah,
isn't that the idea?
That's a good point. Yeah, you would think.
So what's going on?
Yeah,
what's happening? So here's some thoughts I have as to why it's funny. It's almost like having the cure for cancer, and then everyone's still dying of cancer. That doesn't even make sense.
Well, it's not a cure. I mean, self-help books, and maybe
the recipe. How about
maybe
that?
the recipe? Yeah. Well, it's interesting because, and I don't know if this is going to be one of the questions that you asked, but here's what I find with self-help books.
Yeah.
Okay. I've read a lot of self-help books. I've done a lot of personal development courses. I've done a lot of professional development courses.
Right.
I've talked to therapists and gone through a doctorate program in clinical psychology. And the thing that I have learned for myself is nobody has the answer. There is not a secret formula out there that works for everybody.
Agreed.
What I've done over the course of my experience is, hey, there's a tool that I really like in this book. And so I use that tool and I pull that into my own toolbox. Or, hey, there's a tool in this book. I get a tool out of every self-help book I read. However, none of it has like this perfect system. I build my own system, right? With all of the tools I get.
Well, it has to fit you, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't believe there's one formula for success for everybody.
Makes sense. But there's so many books out there. You think, why can't we just take all the different books we need and piece it together? I know we can, but there's still so many folks out there that just aren't making it happen. And it's the vast majority.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I absolutely.
So we almost have the recipe, maybe the ingredients to success in different places.
Sure.
And we seem to struggle putting it together. I don't know. I got my thoughts on it, and that's why I wrote the article. I was like, no, this is something. We're missing something.
Right. Well, I mean,
we're missing a few things.
Yes, I would say we're missing a few things.
So you do believe in self-help books, right?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. No, I love self-help books because I get, like I said, I get something out of each and every one. I guess my point is, at this point, I don't rely on a particular self-help book to say all of my problems are solved.
Correct. That makes sense. It certainly can't solve your problems for sure.
No,
it might be a guide. It might give you some insights.
And I guess I just don't rely on them I rely on them for tools now. It's like, okay, how can what wisdom in here resonates with me that it's like, oh, I never thought about doing something this way.
Yeah.
I'll start remembering it. Or there's a quote in there that really hits me and I'm like, oh, that's perfect for where I am right now. You mentioned, I think, in the article about reading. You have to read a self-help book several times.
Well, it's designed to be read.
Several times. Okay, yeah. Because
most people don't realize that. Yeah.
I actually, when I read that, I didn't realize that, but it makes perfect sense.
Yes, because you change as a person, and the message you get from the same exact words have different meaning based on your level of personal development.
Exactly. So you get different nuggets,
absolutely,
different at different times.
They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Right.
When you're ready for that lesson,
absolutely,
it shows up. As long as you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first time?
Which time are you talking about? What experience are you talking about?
The first time you read a self-development book, personal development book.
Yep, I do.
Do you remember which book it was?
Power of Now.
Ooh.
Eckhart Tolle.
Power of Now.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure I read that one. Holy crap.
So you can add that to your list.
I remember mine.
What's yours? Yeah.
I was 29 years old, and it was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey.
There you go.
And that book changed my life. It absolutely changed my life.
Yeah.
The circle of control and the circle of influence.
Yep.
Or circle of concern. That concept blew me the frick away.
Yeah.
Blew me away. I was like, wait a minute, I'm in control of everything in my life?
You actually,
or the way I respond?
The way you respond to it, absolutely. Yep.
Which means I'm in control of everything in my life, my sphere.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that was it. I was off to the races after that. That was cool.
And now hundreds of books later in your bookshelf behind us.
And an author now too. I got some books.
Oh, that's right. So
yeah. Absolutely.
People, go get the book. I can't recommend it highly enough. Is that a good plug?
Sure. Yeah.
Right, okay. That's all right, good.
Yeah, I feel well plugged. No, nothing like that's going on, guys. All right. So
thanks.
Let me ask you this. What you do, you work with a lot of folks. And help coach them and help get their mindset right. You're big into growth mindset.
Absolutely.
How vital are self-help books for the people that you work with? Is that a vital component of what you do?
Absolutely. Well, I have several books that I recommend to people when I work with them. I've got a list of the books that have been of the biggest influence to me. The Power of Now is actually one of them. Yeah. Mindset, The New Psychology of Success. That's where I get a lot of the growth mindset stuff I talk about.
Okay.
The Compound Effect.
Oh, I love that. Darren Hardy.
Yes, The Compound Effect. It's a great book. So I will take, whenever I work with people, as resources, extra resources. Hey, if you want to go deeper into this, if you want to learn more about this, read this book.
Yeah.
These books are absolutely, they help me in building my own toolkit. And so I love throwing books at people. Not literally throwing books at people, but I love offering them new tools and resources, because these are the books that have them. The self-help books are the ones that have them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do.
That's good. So here's one of the problems I see with self-help books.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, sorry. Here's one of the problems I see with people when it comes to self-help books.
Okay.
Right? The books are fine, but they go into it and they don't actually know what they want to get out of it. And I think if you go into anything and you don't know what you're going to get out of it or what you want to get out of it, I think it's a really long shot you're going to find it. It's not just going to show up automatically. You've got to go in with intention. Like, what's the purpose? Why am I reading this book?
Okay.
Right? You don't just go into a personal development book and say, I just want to get better. Well, better at what?
Better at what? Sure. I can
Otherwise, how do you know you get the right book? How do you know I think you need to go in with intention. I don't know what your views are on that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. And I think you can also read self-help books if you don't quite know what you want yet.
Some vague idea, or
even some. Well, okay, so you're stuck.
See, my life sucks.
Right,
my life sucks. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to find a book that says it's a personal development book, and I'm just going to read it. Okay, you might find the diamond you might find something there.
I don't think it's not so much. It's not supposed to diamond in the rough. I think you can get anything out of a book. But if someone says to me, "I'm stuck and I want a new mindset," I'm going to give them Mindset, The New Psychology of Success. I'm going to say, "Go read that," and maybe that's an intention. But maybe that's not what they really want, but it starts them on the road to figuring out what they really want. So it's almost, they'll read that book and maybe they don't get a lot out of it the first time, but they were like, well, no, that's not really what I wanted. I want this. Now you have an intention.
But to say that's not what I wanted, that means you know what you want. That's my whole point. You have to know what you want, so you know what that it's not a good match. That's not what you want. I just think there's got to be some vague, basic idea.
Sure. Well, and even is okay. So here's a question. So even if that vague, basic idea is,
maybe it's just financial freedom. Maybe it's just less stress.
I'm stuck, and I want to learn more about something. Right. I know I'm stuck. I don't know, and maybe it's a question of I don't know what I don't know. So where do I start?
Right. And there are books that are more designed for that higher level basic principles. And
Right.
I think Stephen Covey is one of those books. Where it's just that
Oh.
basic, high level.
That would be one of the books definitely. That's one of the first books people should read.
Yeah, almost
If
like
you've
I
never
would
done
force
it
someone to
before.
read that book anyways. Even if they don't want to, just
Right.
they can read the book and you're going to get something out of it.
Yes.
So I agree. But in general, if you want to be efficient with this, if you're going to be reading books and books and books, get an idea.
Once
what
you
you're going to get out of the book.
Yes. I almost think it's like once you've started on the path,
Yeah.
once you've read a couple of books and kind of know what direction you want to go in, then yes, definitely be intentional about the books that you read.
Yeah. Ooh, it's
Thunder.
man.
I don't know if
you make God mad?
Well, kind
I
of is. Yeah.
It's probably raining too. Now you're making God cry.
Oh.
What did you do?
Oh, I didn't
Actually, it's fun to tell it to kids.
I didn't do anything.
Hey, it's raining.
Did
What
you
did you do?
Did you
Did
make
you
God cry? Oh, you're a man. That's mean. That's just mean, man.
It's fun.
That's just, it's fun making kids cry.
Look, kids are resilient. No, I didn't make them cry. I said you made God cry. There's a difference.
So you made God cry. So you were shaming them and making them feel guilty.
So, Mr. Saidi, is there a problem with that?
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Yes, there is.
That's a joke. That's a joke. Hey, kids, don't try this at home.
No.
Parents, don't try this at home.
And kids, you did not make God cry.
All right, I'm going to throw another one at you.
Okay, throw me another.
Here's another reason why we fail when it comes to self-help books.
Okay.
Why we don't make them work right. We don't empty our cup. We don't. We're not open to new ideas. We think we know it all already. We go into it, and we're not open to. We're not really listening to the book.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that one?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's an arrogance there that,
yeah,
that sometimes we think we know stuff. And I can tell you my own personal experience. Many times I've gone into a personal development book and started reading, I kind of know that. But if I pay attention and I've actually just keep reading, I'll get uncomfortable.
Yeah. Ooh,
I'll get uncomfortable.
That's a good word.
And I'll start feeling some anxiety. And I will want to shut that book and put it away. And before, early in my professional development book, self-help book reading career, if you can even call it a career, that's what I would do. It'd be like, if I got uncomfortable, no, don't want to go there. Because I thought I knew it.
That was a pathway to growth.
But exactly. But I was being challenged by the book and by the information in the book. And there's something there that I needed to learn, but I wasn't ready to learn it, or I thought I knew it already, and I didn't want to be challenged on that particular aspect.
Yep. Yeah.
And I wish I could be specific. I really want to give a specific example, but all I'm remembering are the emotions and feelings involved with that.
I think people understand. It's one of those where you just have to. So one of my mentors said it best. He said, "It's what you learn after you think you know it all that makes all the difference in the world." And I love that quote. I just think that sums it up right there.
And I think there's that. You especially with that. Go in with an empty cup. It's the mindset. It's a learning mindset.
Correct.
You want to go into it with a learning mindset, a learner's mindset.
Otherwise, why read it?
Right.
Because go read a novel if you don't want to learn anything. If you think you know it all.
Because the know-it-all is the ego.
Yes.
And it's the ego putting you in. I'm going to use growth mindset. Lego my ego. And that's what's holding you back. That's the resistance. There's the ego that thinks it knows it and is comfortable and doesn't want to leave that comfortable space because I got this, right? Yeah. No problem. I got this. And then you run into the information in the book and you're like, oh, well, maybe I don't.
And the ironic thing is that the ones that think they know it all are the ones that are usually complaining that things aren't working.
You absolutely.
Which is why they're reading their personal development book or the self-help and they're just trying to figure it out. But so it's just, that's the irony, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So here's another one.
Okay. And
we're all guilty of this. We love to start things, but we don't tend to finish things.
I know nothing about what you're talking about right now.
In fact, you just mentioned it. Starting a book, you get uncomfortable, and then we don't finish it.
Yep.
For whatever reason. Maybe we get busy, maybe life happens, but we're good at starting. We get all excited, and then we just don't see it to the end. And then we could miss that nugget at the very end. We can miss the action plan, the part of the book that we need to really focus on. We miss it.
Absolutely.
It's terrible.
Oh, yeah. I don't have anything to add on that.
All right. Or here's another one. We read it when we have time.
We read it when we have time.
So it's kind of like going to the gym to work out.
Okay.
You should not be going to, if you go to the gym to work out, you've already lost. And that sounds weird. I know, guys. Go ahead and send all the comments, and that's fine. No, here's my point. You go to the gym to get in better shape, to feel better, to look better. There's got to be a higher purpose to it. You don't just, because no one wants to go to the gym and spend time there.
Right.
You do it for a higher purpose.
Right.
So when it comes to personal development, you don't do it when you have time. There's got to be a higher purpose. I need to get better. I need to get in better shape. I need to get a better mindset. And therefore, the book is one of those tools that I have to use.
So take it a step further here. So we take this a step further. And it's not I need to, not I should.
Oh, that's right. Oh. Here we go. We're going to start shooting on ourselves.
Stop shooting all over ourselves.
No shoulds.
It's not the need to. It's the I do.
Yes. Right,
I read personal development books. I don't need to read personal development books. I read personal development. You make it part of your identity.
That's fine. Yeah.
You make it a priority. But
that's the key. You make it a priority.
You might get a priority. Yeah. Exactly. I agree.
It's got to be scheduled. It's got to be part of your life.
Yeah, and even if that's just 5 pages a night, it doesn't. And this goes back to the compound effect. You start off small.
Yeah.
Especially if you're new to this stuff, this can be overwhelming, and there's a lot of it goes deep. I mean, you have to take the deep journey with this stuff if you're taking it seriously.
Right.
And this is something that I sometimes do. I don't do it all the time, but there are times when I will have a book, and if it's really rich with information that I like and I need, I will sit there and take notes.
Yes, I've done that too.
I don't do it with all the books.
Yeah.
But especially with the ones that I find most engaging for me, I find I get a lot more out of it when I take notes, and I write the notes. I don't type the notes because writing is more impactful in your memory.
What flows through you sticks to you.
Ooh.
Right? Or actually, I get a better one. The dullest pencil is better than the sharpest mind.
I've never heard that one before.
That's a good one. That's money right there. That's worth the price of this podcast. That's worth the price of admission.
Wait, isn't this podcast free?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. Details.
Details.
So here's another one.
Okay.
Here's a good one. We don't take any action. I think if you read a book and you do not take one single action from that book, it's pretty much impotent. You shouldn't have even read it. You wasted your time. Yeah. That's my opinion.
I agree with you. There's
you
can I know, right? Look,
why make it so easy?
I'm sorry. It's just you're actually talking truth here, man. It's talking truth. Yes, you have to. There's absolutely.
Well, that was easy.
I know, right? Sorry.
It's like I hit that button from Staples. That was easy. So here's the last one I've got for you. We try to take all the actions. So we get so excited that we dive deep and we try and do everything in the book. We get overwhelmed and we give up.
Right. And it all comes back to motivation. So taking that one action, you can be as motivated. You can have all the motivation in the world. You can be pumped up by this book and be ready to go. And if you don't start taking steps, if you don't commit, it means jack squat, right?
Right.
Which that is the problem. And then, like you said, the other side is the problem as well. You get overwhelmed and you get demotivated.
Yes.
Because it's just like you're feeling
it's
just too much. Yeah. And so that's why when you're actually setting good goals, you're setting goals that are you are setting a goal.
Well,
most people don't set goals,
right.
And goals are extremely important. And B, when you do set a goal, you're setting them correctly. And I would point you to anybody who's writing about SMART goals, because and you're not setting too many goals. You're setting one to three goals. Correct. 1 to 3 goals.
So maybe from a book, you could take 1 to 3 actions.
Yeah.
And start there. And then, hey, if you complete those actions, go do more of them.
Right.
Go do other actions in the book. That's fine. But
do something.
Take the first step.
Yeah.
Just don't try and leap 10 stories all at once.
Absolutely.
That's the point there.
Yep.
So really, the whole purpose of this is we just want you guys, everyone listening, we don't want you to waste your time. Everyone's busy. No one's got time to waste, which is life, right? No one's got life to waste. So we want to make sure you get the most out of any book you're reading, especially if it's for self-help.
Right, and being able to understand that it is, because I really like the priority thing. It's a must.
Yeah.
It's a must. It's not a need. It's not a want. It's not a should. It's a must.
Right.
And make that process, that learning process, part of who you are.
Yeah.
Because in the end, you read 10 minutes a day, right?
10 pages a day.
10 pages a day.
You will go through approximately 18 average length self-help books in a year.
18.
Most people do less than one.
Book, not even self-help
book.
Right. Not even a self-help book, but less than one.
I don't know
book.
what book. I don't know what book they're reading. Like, How to Be a Dummy on Dummies, or for dummies.
Right, for dummies. How to Be a Dummy for Dummies. No, it
sounds like a great book.
Yes, no.
I bet that's on Amazon.
I bet it is. I bet someone's written something like that. 18 books. That's huge. 10 pages a night.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. And how many? Well, you like to bring. I know you like to do an exercise with folks with how much time are you really spending? Oh
yeah. Well, you're either spending or investing. Remember, time. So the concept of time is silly. Time does not exist when it comes to us. That's a lie we tell ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about lies.
Yeah.
It's our life.
Yep.
Time is life, right? You don't get either one back. It's you're spending life or you're investing life. So next time you guys say, I'm just killing some time, stop using the word time. The word is life. You're killing your life. You're wasting your life. Or, I have no life for that. I'm too busy. I have no life for that. Not time.
Dude, get a life.
Doesn't that sound? No, I have no life.
I know, right?
I have no life.
Yeah.
Look, I'm so busy. I have no life. So when we start using the right word, it starts putting in the right context.
And doing self-help books, especially doing self-help books right.
Yeah.
That's investing time.
That's an investment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm just curious. I'm surprising you with this question, but so if you don't have an answer, don't worry about it. But what's something that people don't know about your industry that they should know, because not knowing it is causing them to fail? But I can go on and on about financial industry because I've been there.
Right.
What's any dirty secrets from your industry that that people ought to know or
okay? And I'm going to go into.
I want to expose those truths.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's one of my tips. This is actually on the psychology counseling side. Now, actually, I'm not a licensed therapist. I don't do licensed counseling, but this is one of the biggest mistakes people make.
But you play one on TV.
Right? I play one on TV. I sort of play one on TV. I'm a doctor of psychology, but I'm not I can't call myself a psychologist because legally you need to do some extra things that I haven't done. Which I don't want to do. I actually don't want to be a licensed counselor or therapist. I want to.
You actually want to help people.
I said
it. You don't have to say it. I said it.
And actually, I don't technically believe that because I have a lot of friends and colleagues who are really good at what they do.
They do their best they can. I know.
So the one thing, and this is not so much that the industry doesn't want you to know, but it's one of the biggest mistakes people make, is you need to actually interview your counselors.
Interesting.
You need to go see 3 or 4. You need to shop.
That makes sense.
You need to shop for your counselor. Most people just...
Why?
Well, because it's all about fit. So
if I go into the phone book and I see, AAAAA psychology,
right?
Why not just use that one? Because it's the first one. It's easy. I could just call them up.
Because it's all about fit. That you get the most benefit. It's the relationship. It's the connection. 50% of any benefit you get working with a therapist is from the relationship, not the modality, not the kind of treatment that they're using or the system that they're using. The most important thing is whether you get along with that person and whether you trust that person to be able to help you. And that's actually the same thing in not just the counseling side, but it's also in the coaching side. I guess that's where now I'm more on that coaching side.
How good are psychologists about telling you this up front and being open and honest and saying, look, we should interview each other, and if you're not a good fit, I'm not going to work with you. Or
the good ones do it.
Well, the good ones do it, but
that's not
overall in your industry, because I could talk about my industries too, and it's
most
there aren't enough good ones.
There are other issues involved, but most won't tell you.
Okay, so this really is one of those little secrets.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
So be sure to, really, if you're going to get a coach, make sure you interview that coach.
That is with any kind of coach.
Probably. Exactly, and that's what I mean. Any kind of coach, if you're doing a therapist, make sure you try out 2 or 3, because most good therapists and most good coaches will give you an hour of their time for free, right? There'll be a free kind of assessment, kind of, how are you doing? What are your problems? Is this a good fit for both of us? Right? Because because if you go to someone, you get along with them, but they have no idea how to they have no experience in what you want to be coached on.
Yeah.
That's not a good fit. That probably won't be a good fit.
By the way, this actually goes right back to the personal development books as well. Because if you really distill some of these books, they all say the same thing. But they're said in different ways, and you don't know which person is going to say it in the way that resonates with you.
Flavor
that gets into exactly. So it's pretty much the same thing, right? It's very similar.
Yep,
in that aspect.
I agree.
So how do people find you if they want to talk to you more? If they want to see what you're up to? If they want to follow your foundational skills / superhero?
Oh, you're bringing that out. When is this airing again?
It'll be airing very soon.
Very soon. All right. So you can get a hold of me if you want to talk to me in any way. So I do coaching, and I do speaking, and I do training, and it's around what I call the foundational skills kit, which covers 7 areas, from purpose and identity to.
Was it always 7, or did you add one?
I added one on.
Oh my God! I remember added 6. Okay.
So there's 7 now, and that purpose and identity one is the one that I just added. So purpose and identity, mindsets, limiting beliefs, communication, stress management, motivation, and goal setting. Those are the kind of the 7 areas that I cover.
Awesome.
But what I'm doing now, and you brought that up, and thank you for bringing that up, is
he's a superhero. He's Batman.
I'm Batman. Oh crap! Now there you are.
The bat's out of the bag.
The bat's out of.
Belfry.
But the question I now ask people is, have you ever dreamed about being a superhero? Because really what this comes down to is all stepping into your power, being your own superhero, being able to not only help yourself and become your best self, but being able to help others in the process. Because as you know, with great power comes great...
pyramids.
Yeah, that's right. Responsibility.
Oh, responsibility.
But it's in 2 ways. This is not just responsibility in the normal sense that we take responsibility for ourselves, or we take responsibility for our actions and what we do. It's also our response ability, increasing our ability to respond. And that's what all these tools do. The foundational skills kit, which is also now informally known as the foundational superhero kit. So what I do is I take you on a journey, the hero's journey.
Can we just throw out our current school system and just do your program instead?
Okay.
How awesome would that be?
That would be fun.
Make this the foundation of it.
That would be fun. I actually think that's one of the mistakes public schools is making is there's a lack of personal development.
I think this is more important than the Pythagorean theorem. Like the Pythagorean theorem is great, but how to actually think like a champion, how to actually control your emotions and help others and build yourself and self-actualization, all these great concepts, that should be taught first. Or in addition to. Well, it shouldn't be ignored.
It should be made as much of a priority as math.
Correct.
Or history or English.
Well, it should be a hell of a lot more important than English, but that's
I'm just kidding. Because it's very important to communicate. You need to be able to communicate.
That's you know what? I see a lot of people communicating without English. But anyways,
it's true. Okay, you have a point there. Right.
But
Anyway, so that's where you can get a hold of me at macomacg.com, or you can also email me at scott@macomacg.com if you have any questions, because I run workshops, and the workshop's going to be called Superhero You.
All right. And I will probably be there participating a little bit, helping you out with that, and I'm excited about that.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And you're going to be seeing us as well, guys, on the comedy circuit. That wasn't funny. I'm a comedian. We're not supposed to be funny. So we're going to be bringing personal development to comedy, or comedy to personal development. I don't know which. It's kind of like the chocolate and the peanut butter, and it's messy, but it tastes good.
But God damn it, we're not brothers.
And we're not brothers. If you see us, we're not freaking brothers.
And I'm not Josh, okay?
Yes.
I'm prettier.
and I've got a face made for radio, which is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. So on that note, be sure to leave a comment. We want to know what you guys thought about this episode. What experiences have you had with personal development books? Share your story. Let us know what's going on. Go to our website, brokeisnojoke.org. Leave us a message. You can email me directly at josh@lifesaverld.org, Lifesaver Leadership Development. So josh@lifesaverld.org. And we want to hear from you. And there's always room to bring on some other people on the radio here. So if you give us a good story or give us something juicy to chew on, we will definitely consider having you aboard the show here. So hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, whatever's left of it. And remember, it's always a good morning and a new day. And we're going to meet you at the top because, like I always say, the bottom is just way too crowded. I appreciate you guys. Love everyone. And we'll talk to you later.
You've been enjoying another Glitch in the Matrix with Josh Zeppis on Broke is No Joke Radio. To dive deeper and see how far the rabbit hole goes, visit us at brokeisnojoke.org. Share your story, leave a comment, get featured on a future show.